Good afternoon, iTimerals. I am Daryl and I'll be your host for today. First of all, I'd like to ask, kamusta na kayo? I hope that you are actually doing well at the comforts of your own home. Please stay safe and we miss you guys. So for today, I'm very excited and personally, I'm looking forward in having this virtual conversation with you guys because today we are going to talk about learning anytime, anywhere. And this is definitely will be useful and helpful this incoming term. I know that you are excited as much as I do, so without a further ado, let me welcome you for today's webinar, Introduction to Miles, a webinar for tertiary students. And to formally welcome us all, may we call on the ever-supportive Senior Director for College of Engineering, Dr. Manuel C. Bellino. Let's give him a virtual round of applause.
Good afternoon, everyone, especially to our students who are with us virtually. A warm welcome to our FROSHs and returning students as we begin a new academic year 2020-2021. To our first-year students, thank you for choosing FEU for your engineering education. To our returning students, thank you for continuing your engineering education with us. The opening of this academic year is indeed historical and unprecedented, considering the challenges brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic. We all find ourselves traversing an uncharted territory and living under new normal conditions. Higher educational institutions, such as colleges and universities worldwide, are left without choice but to go online learning or flexible learning as our Commission on Higher Education proposes it. To some students and their parents, online learning sounds negative, considering their doubts as to its effectiveness. However, here at FEU, we dared to take an extra mile to come up with an online learning mode that is student-centered and mastery-based. We call it MILES, the acronym for Mastery-Based Individualized Learning Enhancement System. MILES differentiates our online learning delivery system, making FEU miles apart from the other schools. And this is our commitment of providing you quality education even in the midst of the pandemic. This webinar is all about miles, orienting you to its rationale, features, and promises to you who have entrusted your future with us. Once more, thank you very much for deciding to journey with us through miles. We hope that such journey would be smooth sailing, although challenging at times, but definitely rewarding in the end. Finally, our dear items, at FEU 1 Virtual School, FEU Tech, FEU Alabang, and FEU Diliman, with miles, you would feel that you are at home with your engineering education. Mabuhay ay Tamaraw.
Thank you for that very welcoming and inspiring words, Dr. Bellino. And as I quote Dr. Bellino of taking an extra mile in education, we will be assisted in this journey by the esteemed directors of the college. Please join me as we get to know them better. For the College of Engineering directors and coordinators. For the Office of Senior Director for Engineering, Dr. Manuel C. Bellino, Senior Director for Engineering. Coordinator, Engineer King Harold A. Recto for Core Relations. For the Civil Engineering Department, Coordinator, Engineer Rainer Lawrence Valdez. OIC Program Director, Dr. Florante D. Pozo Jr. For the Computer Engineering Department, Coordinator, Engineer Hanilet Grimaldo. Director, Engineer Moises F. Harginiano. For Electrical and Electronics Engineering Department, Coordinator, Engineer George Z. Burgos, and Director, Dr. Romano Q. Nera. For Mathematics and Physical Sciences Department, Director, Dr. Virgilio B. Dadis Jr. For Mechanical Engineering Department, Coordinator, Engineer Reynaldo C. Muli, and Director, Engineer J. Chris Y. Onya. Now that we know our coordinators and directors, may we start introducing to you Miles. And please let us call again the Senior Director for College of Engineering, Dr. Manuel C. Bellino.
Even before COVID-19, there was already high growth and adoption in education technology. Learning management systems like Canvas, Blackboard, Moodle, and many others have been utilized, adopted by universities worldwide, including those in the Philippines. FEU has been using Canvas for some years already for its online learning delivery. Canvas is the world's fastest growing learning management platform. The COVID-19 has resulted in closing all schools across the world. Globally, over 1.2 billion children are out of the classroom. As a result, education has changed dramatically with the distinctive rise of e-learning, whereby teaching is undertaken remotely and on digital platforms. Our three schools, FEU Tech, FEU Alabang, and FEU Diliman, which we now call one virtual school, did not just join the bandwagon of shifting to online delivery of its courses, but revolutionizes learning through the conceptualization of miles. Next slide, please. MILES is the acronym for Mastery-Based Individualized Learning Enhancement System, where youth students are at the center stage of the entire educational process. MILES is a pioneering and innovative online education which offers individualized learning and aims for mastery of the courses in your chosen program. Miles uses Canvas, a learning management system used by a number of top universities in the world, including Harvard University. Miles is the result of the creative and innovative minds of our academic leadership and the countless hours of hard work of our faculty members. To sum it up, Miles is a labor of love for you, our dear students, so that your educational journey with us would be meaningful, fruitful, exciting, and rewarding even in the midst of the pandemic. Welcome to Miles.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bellino. Now we are going to the Miles itself. You know, there are three great interesting features of Miles. First is the mastery-based learning. Second is the individualized or personalized learning. And the third one is the Miles app. For the mastery-based learning, it is an educational strategy that maintains a way to achieve a mastery. For the individualized or personalized learning, faculty members are to provide academic mentoring and or tutoring, academic support to individual students. And for the Miles app, students will be given a network for their courses through the Miles app. Next slide, please. There are three A's of Miles, and these are the academic materials, assessments, and the academic consultations. In the academic materials, it is composed of the video lectures, video PowerPoint presentations, supplementary reinforcement materials, open educational resources, and other tools available in Canvas. You know, one of the good things about here is that you can actually replay the video presentation of your professor. In the assessment, it is composed of the ungraded and graded activities, while for the academic consultation and mentoring, these are composed of the tutorials before or after the assessment. This also includes the small and big group consultations. Next slide, please. Miles can be best represented and illustrated by four parts. First is the content and data organization. Here we are going to answer how our academic materials and expected output are designed and displayed. On the second one is mastery-based learning design. Here we are going to answer how do we achieve the process of learning mastery. On the third, that is mastery network integration. Here we are going to answer how does interconnection of related courses aid in mastery. And then the fourth one, the individualized and personalized learning, we are going to discuss how will this be integrated and made available to the students. Next slide, please. And the content and data organization. In each course, it will be divided into several modules. Each module is then subdivided into different subtopics. Each subtopic contains the 3 A's of Miles, which are the academic materials, assessments, academic consultation, and mentoring. Here, what is interesting is that we can focus more on studying because it is subdivided into subtopics. Ang galing, di ba? For the mastery-based learning design, in each subtopic, a learner will be presented by online academic materials. It will be then followed by assessment. If a learner has demonstrated mastery, he can then proceed to the next subtopic. Otherwise, he will be presented with supplementary reinforcement and or consultation. After that, he will be reassessed until he demonstrates mastery, which is very nice because we can assure learning is constant in this mastery-based learning design. This is the most interesting part personally for me, the integration of Mastery Network. It's so amazing. You know, in the image shown, the active course is Algebra 2. You can notice that this active course is linked from a previous subject, in this case, Algebra 1, and for a future subject, which is Calculus 1. These links will be made available to our learners. You notice, our learners, the present course is, we can now see that the present course, the correlation of it to the previous and the advanced course, which makes it great. And to continue discussing about the Miles app, may we call on one of our prides and the academic Canvas coordinator for College of Engineering, Engineer Mark Teodoro.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here to discuss about the Miles app. So I'm also here to discuss about the add-ons and modes of learning. So the Miles app is a unique feature of online learning which was developed here in FEU Tech, Alabang, and Diliman. The course network map basically shows you all the courses which are connected to one another. It is one of a kind which can only be seen in the learning management system of FEU Tech, Alabang, and Diliman. The app allows you to zoom in, to pan, and of course to course hover. The app also allows you to change the perspective in terms of active courses in the network map to have a better view of the modules of a certain course. Unlike static maps, Miles allows swiveling of camera from a fixed position. All directions are allowed, whether it be horizontal, vertical, or of course diagonal. Use the zoom in and zoom out function, which is a built-in camera function in Miles, to either examine the map closely or get to see the big picture. As the course network map gets bigger, meaning more connections are included, this function would come very handy for you. To return to the original zoom value, you just have to click Reset Zoom. Lastly, class course hover. When you hover your mouse to a certain course, it deactivates the remaining courses, which allows you to see the connections directly attached to it. For big course maps and the curriculum view, this is very handful feature for you to declutter your map view. So let us watch a short clip regarding the functions of your Miles app. All right, that was the Miles app. Very exciting, right? So let us now discuss individualized and personalized learning. A type of learning which is being implemented and capitalized in Miles is what we call the individualized or personalized learning. This type of learning is a method wherein the materials and activities given to the learners are catered to their strengths, weaknesses, and then of course, their needs. This type of learning can be implemented or further enhanced by faculties by implementing the following teaching techniques: small group discussions, tutorials, academic mentoring, and academic consultations, each of which can be applied in various applications depending on the design of the course and the needs of the learners. Let us talk about the mode of delivery present in Miles. Generally, these are the asynchronous and synchronous modes. Miles will mostly use the asynchronous mode, but will use the synchronous mode from time to time. Synchronous mode of delivery allows students and teachers to meet from different locations at the same time. There will be a specific schedule which will require the students and the proctor to be online. Most activities done in this mode involves online studies through chat video and video conferencing. Asynchronous mode of delivery is the most used in Miles, where learning occurs at your own time and pace. Materials and activities using this mode of delivery are designed for self-study, which involves watching, reading, listening to different types of content. So what are the different learning modalities which you can avail and use? There are three modalities which can be used, though the third option is up for the decision of the government to allow physical classes. These are the fully online, and blended face-to-face. So what are the difference between the three? Fully online is a learning mode which is recommended for students who have unlimited cellular data or stable internet access, with computer devices suitable for their course requirements. With fully online, all the learning materials, lectures, and assignments are uploaded in advance on Miles. This option has no fixed class schedule, so students can study the educational material at their own pace and convenience. The learning materials are accessible 24/7 and may be downloaded and printed for study even offline. Fully online allows them to review lessons from past courses and gives a preview of the next course. Consultations with faculty, academic mentoring, and assessments will be done online as well. Blended online learning is favorable for students with limited internet access. Students are provided with educational materials via the digital learning packet or the printed learning packet. Since these learning packets are not internet dependent, access to the internet is reduced and needed only for faculty consultation and assessments. Digital learning packets are flash drives that contain all learning materials, including video lectures and learning activities. Printed learning packets, or PLP, are hard copies of the same learning materials. These packets will be sent out to the students upon request for a minimal fee by a courier. And lastly, blended face-to-face, which will only be allowed if the government allows again the physical classes. This option balances out the online learning and on-campus interactions. Classes and lab courses that require personal interaction will be under this option. Limited slots will be offered to ensure social distancing and other health protocols. This option will only be accessible once we are allowed to resume on-campus classes. So other than those learning modalities, we have the Miles add-ons. The first Miles add-on is what we call the Canvas Parent app. So the Canvas Parent app enhances the potential for parents to engage in their students or in their children's education. Parents can review upcoming and past assignments, check on their grades, and receive alerts for student activity. Canvas Parent can be used by any Canvas user with an Observer account. So the parents can use the Canvas Parent app on Android devices above Android 5.0 or later, and iOS devices using iOS 10.0 or later. The second add-on that we have is what we call the one-stop shop. The one-stop shop utilizes the big blue button, which is the main conferencing app that we're going to be using in Miles. This add-on combines all the academic and non-academic processes such as registrar, English Resource Center, student activities, the MRC, the clinic, the guidance unit, and accounting, typically done face-to-face into a single online setup that will be called the one-stop shop. As we discussed earlier, we are shifting from the traditional formula for education, which involves face-to-face classes, where time is constant but learning is sadly variable, into a mastery learning, where you study at your own time and learning is always constant. So before we move on to the question and answer, let us watch a video to give you a glimpse of what to expect in Miles. Let us give a virtual clap for Engineer King Harold, Director of the EEE Department, for the video presentation.
So while waiting for the video, may I inform everybody that if you have questions, you may ask it through the right side of your screen. And maybe remind our students that only questions in related to Miles will be answered. Other questions may be sent to your respective departments through their respective contact emails.
Hello everyone! Welcome to our humble home. This is Sir H from the EEE Department. Today we are going to have a walkthrough class.
Your dashboard will show all the courses you are enrolled in. Click on the course you want to work on. Your screen will display the syllabus of your selected course. Click on Modules to do your actual coursework. Check out Miles Course Design to familiarize yourself with this new platform. Miles gives you full access to PowerPoints, so you don't have to worry about copying from the board. And you will have your teacher explain the lesson to you. Shall we watch a sample video?
Hello everyone! Welcome to the third installment of our module. This afternoon, we are going to study the special purpose diodes. We hope that at the end of this lesson, you will be able to compare and contrast the special types of diodes.
V sub Z, or the Zener diode impedance, is given by delta V sub Z divided by delta I sub Z. If you will model it this way, it is equivalent to a voltage source in series with a resistance. Now, as I have said, this is where you operate your Zener diode. Let's discuss the sample problem. What is the Zener impedance if the Zener diode voltage changes from 4.79 to 4.94 volts when the current changes from 5 milliamps to 10 milliamps? Very easy, right? All you have to do is to get delta V sub C and divide it by delta I sub C. So what is delta V sub C? Miles also allows you to take formative tests designed to build up your mastery on the subject matter. It even has supplementary materials, consultation, and a study guide, all designed to equip you to become better learners. It helps you to prepare for your test.
Before we end, let me just share with you my thoughts on Miles. You see, no matter what path you would be taking, as long as you give it your best shot, I believe you will be able to achieve math. Sir H saying, to him who perseveres, everything is just a matter of time. Till next time.
Thank you very much, Engineer Recto, for that. Now, we are going to proceed with the Q&A portion. So, may I again remind everyone that for your questions, you may ask it through the right side of your screen, and maybe remind our students that only questions in related to Miles will be answered. Other questions may be sent to your respective departments through the respective contact emails. If you still have questions in relation to the webinar conducted, please send your inquiries to miles_inquiries at fit.edu.ph. And if you have questions, please kindly include your course and year level. So, right now we are receiving a great number of questions that really signifies a great interest, and we're glad that you are very interested with our webinar. So let's try to answer them one by one. The first question is from BSME, third year. Question is, I would like to know po, how are the students guided or monitored by the faculty members in Miles? Is there attendance po ba sa monitoring? I guess we could tap Dr. Onya from the ME department, the director of ME department for this question. Good afternoon, Dr. Onya.
Yes, hello, good afternoon, Daryl. Good afternoon to everyone, and then welcome to this Miles webinar. First of all, before answering that question, I would just like to welcome all the students that are present here right now to a new school year, which is just around the corner. Welcome also to FEU Tech, FEU Alabang, and FEU Diliman, because we are now one FEU school. And most of all, welcome to the College of Engineering. Now, the question is, how are students guided or mentored by the faculty members in Miles? So basically, if you have been listening to the presentation that was well done by Sir Daryl a while ago, this is a part of the 3 A's. So this is the academic, consultation, and mentoring. So students are guided through academic consultation and mentoring. So this includes the constant mentoring of student performance, feedback, and appropriate intervention. Now, how is this done? So you might ask, paano kaya nagagawa yon or paano mangyayari yon? So basically, the faculty will have an engagement of the students either individually or as a group. So since we know there might be some students who have slower paces or progress than the others, this can be resolved through updates on learning progress and consultation about particular topics which can be reinforced by supplementary materials which are provided by the faculty. So basically, this is one of the features in Miles that would ensure that the students would understand and master each topic in the module. So I guess I hope that answers the question.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anya, for that question. We hope that we have answered your question, the BSME third year student. Another question here is the online class through Zoom. So I think the student wants to know if the online class is accessible through Zoom. I think we can tap Engineer Teodoro for this question. Good afternoon, Engineer Teodoro.
Good afternoon. So the question, can you repeat the question? I can't see the question kasi dito.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. Yeah. The question is the online class through Zoom? I suppose, sir. The
Okay.
question is intended to ask if the online class is accessible through Zoom. Yes, sir.
Okay, so if we're going to ask if the online classes will be conducted by a Zoom, it will not be. We're using our own LMS, which is the Canvas, to conduct all of the online classes. But if you're referring to the conferencing, such as the academic tutorials, consultations, and mentoring, that will be done via the big blue button, which is a application included in our Canvas. So I hope that answers the question.
All right. Thank you, sir, Engineer Teodoro, for that answer. Now let's proceed with the next question. I am a third year BSCPE student po. Is it possible for us to view the past courses which we have passed already? I think we could tap Engineer Hardiniano, the Director of CPE Department, for this question. Good afternoon, Sir Moises.
Good afternoon. This is Sir Moises. To answer that question, yes, you can. That's one of the advantages of the Mastery Network integrated in Miles. Actually, modules of your current courses are linked to modules of previous courses and future courses as well. So if you need to review something, you can always go back to previous modules from previous courses. And if it happened that you want to study in advance, you can also view the lecture materials of the modules in future courses. I hope that answers the question.
Thank you very much, Engineer Moises, for that answer. Another question is Miles can be accessed through phone? I think I can already answer this question. Yes, it can be. Another question is the Miles app available in iOS platform? I can also answer this question. Since Miles is in our LMS canvas, it can be accessed to any web browser, whether it is iOS or Android. Another question is, hello, I'm a working student and I would like to know if what would be the schedules for the courses so that my schedules between work and school will not be in conflict. Thank you. I'll be answering this question. This is the beauty of our Miles because time is not constant, but learning is constant. Canvas, Miles, is where you can learn anytime, anywhere. So we are at asynchronous, so you can study at your own time and at your own pace. Another question is it true that we're going to need to get a score of 100 over 100 every exam to move forward to the next module? I think we can ask Engineer Tudoro for this. Hello, sir, Engineer Tudoro.
Okay, so regarding the question about the requirement of score, uh, I can say that it's not 100%, but I would say that you are required to obtain a certain mastery level for you to go forward to a certain subtopic or module.
Thank you, Engineer Teodoro. We have been receiving a great number of questions Another question here is from a fourth year student. I would like to ask if sa fully online makaka-access din po ba kami ng video presentation ng mga lessons or pang DLP lang po siya na blended? The answer is yes. Hindi mo lang siya ma-access, ma-replay mo pa as much as you can. So lectures can be replayed as much as you can. Another question is for the CE department. Also, will there be attendance po ba? If so, how will it work? Um, Sir Mark, Engineer Teodoro, may you please help us out here? I think this would be one of the few last questions that we're going to have.
Can you repeat the question again
The
for this?
question is, the question, sir, is will there be any attendance po ba? If so, how will it work? Thank you, CE second year.
The synchronous part of the Canvas would be required because that includes the assessments. But for the mentoring consultation, that would be individual. That is one-on-one between the student and the faculty. So of course that would be an attendance required. But if you're talking about the videos, the lectures that we're going to be having in the Canvas, there's no attendance there because that would be learning at your own pace and your own time. Only the synchronous parts, such as the consultation, assessments, is where your attendance would be required. But for the video presentation or the video tutorials uploaded already in your Canvas, you're not going to be checked for your attendance, but that is required to be viewed.
All right. To answer the last question here, are we allowed to choose schedules for our subject in Miles? I'll be answering this question. Yes, you can have your own schedule. The beauty of Miles is learning anytime, anywhere. And due to the weather conditions, Dr. Nair lost his connection. And for the closing remarks, yes, Dr. Anya, hello. Good afternoon po.
Oh, yes, good afternoon. I would just like to add something regarding the method of mentoring and guidance of the students in Miles. So this is to let the students know that there will be faculty members who will be available to cater to the queries of the students through consultation. So they can always schedule for consultations with a particular faculty in case they might be needing like in the case of tutorials or other supplementary materials that they might be needing. So rest assured, the faculty members will be there to cater to the needs and the queries of the students. So basically, the schedule of the faculty will be posted as well in their Canvas classrooms. So thank you.
Thank you for that wonderful
Sorry.
insight, Dr. Anya. Yes,
May I
Dr.
add also
Blino.
something, right?
Yes, Dr. Blino.
Yeah, I would like also to inform the student that we designed this miles specifically to cater to their needs. It's mastery based, there will be tutorials. In other words, we would like to maximize learning, but they should not forget it takes two to tango. In other words, that they should do their part, that they should do the exercises, the assignments, and they should take seriously the exams, the assessments, because these are all there to help them. They know, I think even before enrolling in engineering, many of them are aware that engineering is not easy. But I think FEU is a cut from the rest, meaning to say in terms of online delivery. Engineering is difficult, but we would like to assist you to make sure that you succeed in your engineering education and that you pass your courses. But again, it takes two to tango. We do our part as your mentors, your teachers, and please do your part as students. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that very assuring words, Dr. Belino. We have been receiving a lot of questions. Of course, due to constraints, we won't be able to answer all of that. Your questions, you may send it through miles underscore increase at fit.edu.ph. Again, that is miles_inquiries at fit.edu.ph. The webinar video can also be seen from the same link provided. And to close our webinar for today, may I call on one of our prides and the ACAD Canvas Coordinator for College of Engineering, Engineer Mark Teodoro.
So this is a closing message from Dr. Neira. Nothing in this world is constant except for change itself. Because of COVID-19, we have been forced to change to adapt to a new normal. The MAS presentation you have just heard is our way of delivering you the quality education you deserve amidst these changes. I hope that it will not only encourage you to continue your studies given our situation, but also hope it also excites you, motivates you, and challenges you to keep on learning. In the end, the ultimate beneficiary of MAS, so no other than you, our dear students. Your teachers have spent a lot of time to meet all the deadlines because at the end of the day, we are thinking of you. Now that MAS is here, ready na ba kayo? Thank you and good day.